Thank you very much, everyone. My name's Jamie Parker. I'm the member for Balmain. So my electorate, the State Parliament electorate of Balmain, includes a range of the GreenWay, but obviously I'm in different territory here. So I want to thank you very much for inviting me along. Before I start, I wanted to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land and pay my respects to their elders, both past and present, and extend that to any Indigenous people here today. Well, it's been a very interesting last few months, hasn't it? This issue has started to bubble to the surface, not so much because of a definitive decision by the government, but their silence on this issue. I've taken it up with Gladys Berejiklian, who's the Minister for Transport, several times personally, and I've also asked a question in Parliament. I encourage you to go to the Parliament website and have a look at Hansard, and you can see there under my name as the member for Balmain, the question that I asked the Minister and the answer. And the question which I put together with a whole lot of support from some of the national councils and GreenWay activists was quite simple. Will the government commit to build the GreenWay, and will it build the GreenWay in conjunction with the light rail? And the answer was, as you can imagine, we think active transport is great, pedestrian and cycle links. We want to develop a proper strategy. The former government didn't have a strategy, that's true. We want to make sure that transport in Sydney is really effective, and we're going to build infrastructure. So the answer is no, we're not going to do it. That's the real answer. And when I spoke to the Minister, there were two key issues that were raised. One is, well, you know, this government needs to build infrastructure. The former government was so hopeless. Not much got done. We need to build this infrastructure. And we're concerned that the GreenWay will reduce the capacity of us to build the light rail as fast as possible. Well, the answer to that is very simple. There's a whole lot of options the government can consider. Building the GreenWay in different sections, building the light rail in different sections. That is no reason why this important piece of infrastructure, which will augment the visitors who will be using the light rail, allow far more access for people to be able to get off and get on the light rail, make the light rail far more effective, will also provide for a whole range of support for habitat, and etc. There is no reason why the light rail should slow down, that the GreenWay should slow down the light rail. The second issue is $30 million. Now, in the scheme of things, 30 million is not a great deal of money, and it's the amount of money that has previously been committed to this project. So we don't see any good reason that this project should not continue, and quite frankly, it's activities like this that will help turn the government's decision. There's a whole lot of pressure coming on the government from the Northwest Heavy Rail and a real commitment to build that project. And we need the government to recognise that here in the Inner West, there's a fantastic example of integrated transport that this government can get a big tick for. And if they do something right, I'll be the first one to congratulate them and support them. So we need to keep this effort going. As you know, the budget is coming up September 8th. It's really important we keep the pressure up until the last day. I'll be making sure that I speak to the Treasurer to make sure that he knows that this is a really critical project, not just for the Inner West, but sends a strong message to the community in Sydney and in New South Wales that this government can get integration right. Because if they don't ensure that the GreenWay is built along with the light rail, it's just another example of a government building a project that isn't integrated, that isn't following the strategy that we know will be best for light rail users, best for the ecology of the area, and best to demonstrate the type of project that really can make a difference here in our local community. So I wanted to thank you all very much for coming along and showing your support. I've got a petition. I'm working with the other members in the area, in the Inner West, to make sure that we get as many petitions signed as possible, that we ask the questions of the Minister in Parliament, but also here in the community we make our voices heard. So I encourage you, if you haven't already emailed the Minister's office, if you haven't already signed the petition, please make sure you do that, and we'll keep on fighting to make sure that the GreenWay is constructed with the light rail for our community, for the economy of the area, but also, most importantly, for our environment. Thank you.